Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about the BF1 beta, well not the BF1, the BF5 beta that's been going on for a little bit on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, I believe. And let me give you some opinions, some advice I have for the developers as well, what I think should be changed. Played the beta a couple of times yesterday and today, and let me tell you something first off right now. The new revive system, I don't really like it. I think they should either take it out or do a little quick change instead of, like calling out for help. Waiting a certain amount of time, like 30 seconds at a time, stuff like that. You have a little wheel, and that little wheel is like your timer. You can either speed up your death process by holding the left trigger, or you can call out for help by pressing the right trigger. I think they should just give us an option and just like accept death immediately, so you're not there wasting time holding the left trigger in order to respawn. But and it also seems like no one knows that this is a new feature. Like, this has to be the worst Battlefield game I've encountered when it comes to getting revived by fellow teammates and so. Fellow teammates, come on, revive your fellow man. And now, I know what you're going to be saying. You're like, oh, well, he's busy fighting this guy. Oh, he doesn't have time for you. Okay, you know what? You're telling me he doesn't have any time to revive me when the enemy's like super far away and I'm dead right next to them. Behind cover, mind you, and they don't have enough time to get me? Okay. I guess I'm asking for too much, but yeah, the new revive system reminds me of the Fortnite revive system. You get knocked down once, you can get back in the fight if a buddy revives you. But yeah, like I said, the thing I would like for DICE to change is let me die immediately. Let me have the immediate death button to push so I can respawn quicker. I mean, the respawns have always been slow on the Battlefield games, so this just makes it even slower. If I know for a fact that my teammates are not going to revive me because they're douches, I'd rather just die and wait for the little respawn timer on the main title screen, where you get your loadouts and stuff. I'd rather do that instead of just making memes of holding out my hand. Help me, Jebediah. You know what I'm saying, guys? So, yeah, I'd rather get the death button UI screen, the menus now. I've really grown accustomed to the ones in Battlefield 4 and the ones in Battlefield 1. That's the way I've been rolling for a long time. And now these new ones are kind of a little confusing. And I only say that because I haven't been playing with them a lot recently, since I just like to load in and fight, right? Shoot people, kill people, see some action. Not a fan of the new UI interface. I'd rather have it more to the style of BF1 and BF4, especially BF4 style. I'd rather have that instead of this new stuff. Not really my cup of tea, but maybe you guys like it, maybe you don't. I personally don't like it. I wish they would revert back to the older ones. Also, I think a really stupid change, which had me scratching my head, was on the selective fire mode. I'm used to either clicking down on the D-pad or right or left. That's how it was in BF4 and that's how it was in BF1. You want single auto, if you want single shot or fully auto or burst, click down on D-pad or to the right. Boom, you got your single auto or your burst or fully automatic fire, right? In this game, in the beta at least, they might change this in the newer iterations when the full game comes out. You have to hold triangle. Now, I'm embarrassed to say, but it took me a little while to figure that out. That was an interesting round. But I have no idea why you would switch something so simple as clicking down on D-pad or the right to holding triangle. It just doesn't make any sense. Why fix something that isn't broken? I personally don't like that change. I think they should rather just go with the down on D-pad or right. And you're probably thinking, oh, it's down on D-pad. Why does he keep saying right? Or why does he keep saying down when it's right? Because I think it's different on BF1 and BF4. If I'm not, I'm sorry, I'm mistaken. Please forgive me, right? But yeah, that stuff, selective fire, just make it a D-pad option. Don't make it hold a triangle. Like, Jesus, come on. Like, when you're in the heat of the moment, are you really going to be like, I better hold triangle? It's a lot easier to just tap down on the D-pad than it is to hold. It's a quicker impulse reflex. Just boom, you're ready to fire, not like hold. Like, come on, you son of a bitch, come on. Microseconds count, believe it or not, especially in a first-person shooter. And if you don't think I'm serious about that, I dare you to go buy a laggy-ass piece of shit TV. And then we'll fucking see. Anyways, enough of the selective fire thing. Also, I think another thing that I've noticed in this one, specifically in this game, this could be my play style, but I noticed this with a lot of classes though. It seems like you run out of ammo quicker in this game too. Definitely, there was a couple times where I ran out of ammo and my primary weapon had to switch to my sidearm, which was like some 9mm handgun. It reminded me like of a Walther, like one of the World War II ones. I don't know, maybe it was a Walther. But yeah, the ammo is becoming vital apparently. Not as much as I remember as in BF1 or BF4. Maybe that's a whole balancing issue, for the support class. Now the support class, if you want to get all the ammos you want, definitely for the support class. But yeah, the ammo stuff, not as much as it used to be, so I guess be careful with your shots, and hopefully you don't have a dickish teammate that's playing support that can give you ammo. Also, I want to give one positive here. I think this game has some of the best gunplay out of all the Battlefield games I've played. Better than BF4, better than BF1. I just like the way the gun handles in the BF5 beta. I love it. You know, I love it. I think it's really good. The gun feels really good in your hands. I mean, virtually, right? Because you're playing on a controller. I just think, you know, it's pretty good. I really like the way the gun's controlled. Now, I think in BF1 it was a little bit too floaty for me, a little bit too like, ooh, where are we going now? BF4 was better, in my opinion, than the BF1, considering if we're talking about gun control-wise, I think BF4 did it better. At least that's how I felt. And I think BF5 does it a little better than BF4. I just really like the way the gun's controlled in this game. The scopes, really like the scopes. They are actually usable. It doesn't feel like a huge task anymore to be using like a long-range scope on like a AR, like what that gun called on the Assault Classic KH-44. I think not really a big deal anymore. It seems more manageable. Either they dumb down the game, or I'm getting better. That's probably the first option. But yeah, I like the way the gun's controlled in this game. Superb. Another thing I thought you guys might want to know from what I've played with, the tanks no longer have respawning ammo, regenerative ammo. They don't regen back anymore. Regenerative, however you say that. Regenerative. The ammo, you have to go back to base in order to fill up your cannons and your main tank shot. So yeah, that's that. I never went back to base because I got blown up before I got the chance to. But yeah, keep that in mind. Tanks, they feel better than BF1. Then again, I wasn't really in a tank a lot in BF1 since I could never get in the tank in BF1. So there you go. At least in this one, you can actually get in the tank, right? So yeah, more like BF4. The fortifications thing that was brought up in the trailers earlier, and that was really talked about in the trailers and stuff, and the press releases and all that mumbo jumbo, right? Making it different. I like the way it works. I'm not against it, but I did think it would be more versatile. It seems like only certain points on the map, certain areas are, certain zones, you know, certain areas are allowing for you to actually fortify them. Not everything is fortifiable. So like if you think this is like Fortnite, like, oh, I'm gonna build here, I'm gonna build here, to build a ramp. No, it don't work like that from what I've played and seen. Certain spots like that snowy map, like on the top of that bridge, you can fortify like the ends of it. Yeah, mostly though, that's where I fortified my stuff, on that snow map. I don't know what that's called. But yeah, fortifications, I think it's good. Definitely saved my ass a couple times, you know. Taking a lot of fire from across where the hills are. Fortify that son of a bitch up. He can't get you no more, right? So their only option is to go in front of you, and that's where you have the tactical advantage. Pop up, shoot them, pop back in cover, pop up, shoot the guy trying to rub out his teammate, pop down, boom, you got 2 kills. So yeah, the fortification stuff, it's okay, but I expected a lot more. As for airplanes, I didn't really get a lot of time to play with them, but I did hop in like in a heavy bomber. What can I say? I guess it's an airplane handled pretty good, I guess. Never was much of an aerial guy in the Battlefield games, but I think it's adequate. That's about it. My main complaints were, seems like we're out of ammo too quickly. Not a lot of people know you can revive your teammates now, even though you're not a medic. Don't like the new UI. Wish they'd be more like the BF1 and the BF4 UIs, and yeah, a little disappointed with fortifications, but oh yeah, and one last issue before we end the video. It seems like in this game, I'm not noticing enemies as quick as I used to, as I did in BF4 or BF1. I don't know if it's because the frostbite engine has changed, and you know the enemies look different, and I'm not used to it. But me personally, I'm having a lot the harder time IDing enemies in this game than I did in BF1 or BF4. But then again, you know, this is going back to the whole thing of repetition. I've played BF1 and BF4 a lot more than I have played BF5, so I guess maybe with repetition, I'll get better at it and I'll be able to look at them quicker. Had the same problem when I transitioned from Black Ops 2 to Ghost, and yeah, it got better. So yeah, I guess that's just a little nitpick right there. Also, probably gonna get shit for this, but it doesn't look as good as BF1 or BF4 did. Now, keep in mind, this is beta, so I'm sure they're gonna polish it up, but yeah. Doesn't look as polished as BF4 or BF1. But then again, okay, keyboard warriors, okay, I know. It's only beta, so I know. But I think we're reaching that point in this console generation where the ports are trying to look worse and worse slightly, but surely it's going to happen. And I mean, there's already rumors of PS5 knocking around in 2019 getting announced, late 2018, releasing 2019, you know, so yeah, slowly but surely these games are trying to, in my opinion, they're going to start suffering graphically. I mean, they're not working on anything new for PlayStation first party wise, because I think everything's being geared towards PS5 at the point, so yeah, there you go. Anyways, what do you guys think of the BF5 beta? Also, my favorite gun, probably the default assault class weapon, I think it's called the KH-44 or the KPP-44. Don't know the names, but you know what I mean. Put that gun with the scope on, boom, beautiful stuff. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave your suggestions about how to improve BF5, apart from getting rid of all of the SJW bullshit, in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day.